Hey y'all, welcome to Sidewinder Shed. We got a special guest here. We have Darius and we have Perseus. We have my grandkids here. They popped over today. It's Saturday, June 1st. Say hi, buddy. Wave. Wave to everyone. So, what are you doing, my friend? What are you doing, Darius? What are you doing? Are you over here visiting Pop Up? Yeah. And did you get a new toy? Yeah, what'd you get? You got a bubble machine, so you can blow big bubbles outside. Awesome. And what are you eating? What's all over your face? Chocolate cake? Yeah. Oh, it's happy birthday cake. Yeah. Cool. And what are you doing, Mr. Perseus? What are you doing, buddy? Hi. What are you doing? Who's that up here, Perseus? Is that you? All right, cool. You know what? Now, later on today, Darius, when you go home, Mom can pull this up on the TV and you can watch yourself and see yourself. Yeah, you can watch yourself on TV. Hey, Philip. Hey, buddy, give me a couple minutes and I'll put the link up so you can join me. It's good to see you, my friend. Just and I can't read what you wrote here, buddy. Oh, you're gonna go make a cake. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. That's the good thing about being a grandparent. As you can see, I filled him up with chocolate cake, sugar, and everything else, and his mom's here to take him home. Yes, I'm evil. All right, guys. I know you headed out. I love you. Love you. Love you, Perseus. Bye, buddy. Bye. Say bye to everyone. Say bye. Oh, you blowing kisses? Here. Blow kisses to everyone. Blow kisses. Alrighty. Say bye. Alrighty. Philip. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, hype them, spoil them, hype them up, and then send them home. All right, buddy. Give me a second here. I'm going to put the link up so you can hop on. This thing's been giving me trouble minutes, but I'll get you. I'll get it there. There we go. Paste. Here we go, my friend. The link should be right there. You can hop on if you would like, sir. Yeah, right now, yeah. Grandkids showed up for a little bit. Like I said, I was out working on a door for a friend of mine. I had to shorten it and make it a little bit thinner. Her house doesn't take an actual standard size door. It's just, mm, a little bit off. So I went out and I trimmed it, and I'm waiting for a buddy of mine, my buddy Doogie, to come on over, and then we're gonna head over and hang the door for her. But yeah, yeah, go put your makeup on, do your hair. You got to make sure you're looking good for this. And well, I'll wait till you get on here, buddy. But yeah, I'm interested to see how you're doing. You're running short on time to get everything set up to get moving, and God bless you, sir. I hope you're doing okay with that. If we were a little closer, I actually would volunteer to help you, but yeah, I can't drive down to Florida on the weekends to give you a hand right now. 20 years ago, I could, but yeah, not nowadays. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, the grandkids, they saw the laptop sitting here, and I made a couple of videos earlier to try and help my sister out. She wanted to take some videos today of my niece, her daughter, uh, putting up the pool, and she wanted to know. One, I explained to her how to put the videos up on Facebook, and I think she's got that. That's no problem. But she also wanted to know about putting them up on YouTube, because she also wants to start making some YouTube videos, because she does a lot of gardening. It's something that our folks taught us, and she really took to it. And she's just got a wealth of information. And I would love to see her do some videos about gardening and everything else. I mean, because she's, stuff that my folks did back in the day because they had to. And she's carried that on. I have not. I have not myself. I haven't, but she has, and I'd love to see her do some videos. So I'm hoping that that little instruction thing there that I put out, I hope she understands and can throw up a couple videos. That would be awesome. My niece, by the way, also is trying to start. Her daughter is trying to start a little business. She makes her own candles. She makes her own soap. She makes her own shampoo, all that stuff, and it's all natural. And I've actually, in some of my videos, I've actually shown the candles and everything. But I don't want to promote her too much because she's not ready for any big orders yet. Here we go, Philip. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going, sir. It's going. Hey, you're looking good. You put your makeup on right. You're looking good.
Yeah, I got the makeup on. It's yeah, we're having a rain out today, and that's a shame with it being Saturday. I expected Saturday to be a big day, but so it sucks that I'm getting rained out here. I got
Oh,
a
I
bunch
hear
of
you.
crap up on the porch, as you can see, as well as the other direction too. I had it all spread out throughout the yard, or the driveway more accurately, but yeah, it started to rain yesterday. I knew it was coming, so I got everything put up on the porch here, and yeah, and today we're getting a total rain out, so it's Deadsville.
Oh, I got you,
So,
man. I got you. That happened to me,
but
over Memorial Day weekend. That happened to me. A
uh,
matter of fact, I threw up a couple videos showing
uh,
what I was able to do between the raindrops, because it was funny.
right,
It would be perfectly sunny. It would be nice, perfect weather. I'd start doing the project, and literally, just like if you've ever been out to sea, absolutely no warning, no nothing. And
yeah,
within 10 minutes, I mean, it went from sunny and everything to, dusk, almost nighttime black, and the water just coming down like crazy.
yeah, yeah, but uh, yeah, really not much else to report here. Just I've been real busy trying to get things going here between running this yard sale and trying to get the lot cleaned up and work on a car and that kind of stuff. I've just been so busy. I haven't made any videos or haven't really been able to chat with anybody online. In fact, I missed Bear Rose Garage the last time he was on too.
Oh, I got
Just
you.
too busy.
I got you. I
And
understand,
I
man.
wanted to catch up with him because, well, first of all, I think it's been about a month since the last time he was even on.
Yep.
So I just wanted to see what he was up to. shoot the
Yeah,
breeze with him for a little bit.
I popped on when he came on last weekend. I popped on for a few minutes, but I also
Yeah.
edited myself, before
Uh-huh.
before I got him up and kept him up till like 11 o'clock at night, and he started at 6. So like I
Hmm.
usually do. So I just popped in, caught up with him for a little bit, and talked about this, that, and the other thing. I actually talked a whole lot about the Ford 302 engines and stuff, which I grew up with, and then I self-limited. I was very see. I'm bringing this up because I was very proud of myself to the fact that I censored myself and shut myself off before I
Right.
took over his show again.
Yeah, get rambling on.
Oh yeah,
I
and
uh,
he
I have a tendency to do that myself. I'll get on a subject and I have a tendency to be very emphatic about my point and give a bunch of statistics and stuff, and it just and yeah, kind
well
of
you
take over somebody else's show.
yeah I mean
And I don't mean to do that.
I understand, Philip. I understand, and it's one of the reasons why I like talking to you when you come on here, because a lot of times I just babble and I have no idea what the hell I'm going to talk about. I just go from
Yeah.
subject to subject. And you know what? I like it when you're on here because you and I don't know, you bring up some good subjects and we can just sit here and babble like we're old friends talking on the phone, and I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, the first time I met you was on Bear Rose Garage, and I was liking you right then, because you just seem to be my kind of people, as it were.
I
You
got you,
know.
man. Same here. Same
So,
here. And so, yeah, I'm sorry the last few times you've been busy. And so have I. So
yeah,
I
just
mean,
yeah.
it's like today. I just doing the live streams. I just get on when I have a chance to. If I ever, and I've tried, to set a time and say, hey, all right, next Saturday or next Sunday at 8 o'clock, I'll be on.
Yeah.
At 7:52, something happens where I can't get on.
Right.
So
But I was like, first of all, I want to mention when you first came on, and I tuned in, and you guys was talking about cake. I thought, well, geez, there's something I can do because I know I've got cake mix in here. I could be making a cake instead of sitting here in the rain,
oh, I
But
got you.
I did want to tell you that just about all my cast iron stuff is sold, everything except my big skillet, and that's because I've been balking on whether or not I even want to sell that big skillet.
Oh, I got you, man.
But yeah, they love that Lodge cast iron.
Oh
That's
yeah.
good quality stuff, and I have prices on them that people knew that was it was an incredible price for Lodge cast iron. I had
Oh
one
yeah.
Dutch oven. I had $50 on that Dutch oven, but that Dutch oven is $128.
Oh yeah.
Brand new, and
Yeah.
my Dutch oven was never used, so $50 they snatched it right up.
Oh, in a
There's
heartbeat,
been
man.
a couple of, and the big spenders have been all these old guys that show up,
Yep.
because they know it's a bargain. There was a guy that came out here. I sold him a cast iron boxwood stove. I sold him I sold my roulette table wheel. I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever saw
Yeah,
that. That
I
was
saw that.
that
I
was
saw that. That was awesome, man. I like that.
I thought that was a pretty cool table. I got a good penny for it. And geez, just all kinds of stuff. Before the guy left here, I got over $250. I just one guy alone. There's
Yeah,
another
well,
old man that showed up here. He was buying my jet boat and everything. I made a pesticide sprayer that you tow behind your tractor. I made it,
yep.
and he liked that. He bought that. Bought this this old U-Haul box that I had out back that I was using for storage. I did
That
make
was
a
the one
short
that was
video
on.
on that.
Yeah, that was the one I saw. It was on the trailer.
Yeah, on the back of a trailer. That
Yep.
was a heck of a job there, let me tell you. And I got to be honest, I wasn't the only one doing it. The old man that wanted it, he sent this other fella out to get it, and there was actually two guys. They started on it, and they would work on it till it started getting dark, and then I went out there the next day and I worked on it some, but eventually we got it done. Got it up there on that trailer. That
Oh, I
wasn't
got
easy. So,
yeah,
and
no doubt.
but yeah, it's just a lot of that. I got just a pile of scrap metal, and there was one fellow that stopped by the day before, and I took him around and let him see everything, and he told me, he said he'd be back, and he came back early in the morning. First of all, to buy some old antique locks that I had. He wanted them locks bad. They were
Yep.
really cool looking old locks. I wish I had shot a video or taken a picture of them or something, but they look like they belong on an old pirate's chest. These old antique locks,
Yep.
And
I have two of those, sir, that I got from my
yeah,
father with the old, skeleton looking keys, what they call
yeah, the
skeleton
skeleton
keys.
keys in them. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And they still work to this day. I mean, if you actually
yeah,
hold them in
yeah,
your hand, they're hand hammered
yeah,
rivets in them, and it's kind of like
yeah,
sheet metal and everything.
yeah.
You could break them with a
Like
hammer.
plate
You know,
steel.
yeah. Let's be honest though. You hit it hard enough, you break it with the hammer and everything. But they are so
Yeah.
cool, and what they are. My dad had about 3 dozen of those things, and
Uh,
3 keys because they were all keyed the same because there are multiple
right,
locks, for the same thing.
right,
He had a bunch like that, and
right.
I ended up getting 2 of them and a whole big key ring full of them old style keys. And I mean, these
Skeleton
are
keys,
not
right?
these are not tiny locks. The key is about
No,
as thick around as my thumb is. It's not the
yeah,
little skinny key, and
yeah,
it's just a cool thing. I never want to use them on anything outside because I really don't want
yeah,
anybody to go, well, that looks like a challenge. I'll break it. But I do
yeah.
use them for a few things that I've had to lock up inside, and one of them was an old wooden chest. And
Yeah.
we used to call it the it was just a oh my god, I forgot, a steamer trunk, but it was an old
Yeah.
wooden steamer trunk. I had several that were flat top and a few that had the curved tops, but they had the
Yeah.
latch on it, and this was just small enough to put on it. And I wish I still had the pictures. I do have the pictures. They're on a different phone, but it looked
Mhm.
like it looked like an old treasure chest, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love
Yeah.
those things, man. They're
I
awesome.
think that's the reason why the guy wanted them blocks is because of the appearance of them than anything,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
it exactly.
Right. I doubt he was going to use them for anything. He was doing the same thing I was doing. He keep them in with all of his keepsake stuff, kind
Yep.
of thing, which is exactly what I was doing. But now I've just got tons of stuff, and I got to get rid of a lot of things. There's
Oh man.
another. There's a couple of guys that I follow on a car channel that they talk nothing but Pontiac stuff,
Yep.
and they're actually a shop that builds engines, and they're a couple of nice guys. So I had a lot of this precision measuring tools and stuff that I knew that people around here, they don't even know how to use these tools. so
Keep talking,
so
sir. I'll
I
be
just
right back.
packaged. Yeah, well, I just packaged them up and sent them off to these guys because I know that with them running an engine shop, building engines all the time, that they would know how to use them. And I just sent them off to them. So, but I
Yeah, but
still got a tool room that's still full of junk. House is still full of junk. I put out a bunch of stuff out in the front yard until I used up every available table and table space. I set up sawhorses with plywood, and I still haven't gotten rid of not even half of the stuff that I've got. So yeah,
I'll tell you
it's
what,
going to be a challenge.
I do not envy you at all, sir. I mean, it's
Yeah,
honest to God, think about it. If you had started doing this 6 months ago, you may have only had about a third of it left now, but that would be
yeah,
within 6 months. That's how
yeah,
it goes.
exactly, exactly.
I mean, I'm like you. My poor old shed, and I
I
do have a few videos of it, how messy it is. But the shed is only part of it. That I have at least 20 years of stuff that I have in there that's all good. It all has a use.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that I want to keep. I'm not even talking about. Oh God! All right, yeah. The wife's still taking a nap. She has to work this afternoon, so she's getting a quick nap in because I don't want to remind her that I'm supposed to clean out my closet. We got a walk-in closet, and you cannot step in it. You can't even open the door on the damn thing. And that's stuff from I've had for 40 years or better. You know.
Yeah. And here's the thing: a lot of the stuff that I've got, it's all good stuff, and and in fact, everybody who's come out here and or was just looking or bought stuff, I'd tell them come on back because what they're seeing is just a fraction of the stuff that I have. So just keep
Yeah.
checking back. And I've been doing just that. I put out signs out by the highway and everything, directing people to come back over here. How to get back in here into the backwoods.
Yep.
And I put on the signs that I've got the yard sale going all week long. It's not just a weekend thing.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah. I've seen some of your stuff, Philip, and I'll be honest with you, sir. If I could, hey, like I said, one, I'd come down there to help you,
yeah.
but two, on there for
Well, I
myself
appreciate
too to
that.
get some of that stuff.
Yeah,
But
get some. Yeah,
oh yeah, that's for
yeah,
damn sure.
yeah.
That's for damn sure.
But, yeah, like I've got some woodworking machinery. I got an old wood planer, and I got a bandsaw, and I got a radial arm saw, and a
Yep.
miter saw, and drum sander. And here's the thing about all that woodworking stuff, because I liked woodworking, but about 10 years ago or so, I bought myself a welder because I needed to do some welding, and I felt like just doing some fabrication of metal stuff. And ever since I've been doing that, I haven't been doing any woodworking. I've been doing all metal work.
Oh, I got you.
I made
I got you.
I made a series of videos on how I made my own engine stand, out of
I was
just
watching
this
that.
scrap
Yes.
metal pile that I had here.
Yeah, I was watching it,
So
and I'll tell you what though, Philip. And matter of fact, this is one of the things I talked to Kim Bear Rose on Sunday. We got into this discussion working with metal because I do a lot of work with wood and everything. Okay, and I'm by
uh,
no means a craftsman. I just make do. And a lot of the wood I use, is reclaimed or it's scrap wood. I don't have enough money to go out and buy brand new wood. And
right.
in my opinion, too, a lot of this older wood that I get is a lot better. Is a lot
Yeah.
higher quality once you clean it up.
Yeah.
But we're talking about working with metal, and my friend Doogie, excellent fabricator, has been working with metal for years, and I have a few other friends. And again, they tell me the same thing. Well, you can work with wood; it's the same thing. Your cuts, your
Yeah.
angles, everything's the same.
That's true.
I'm
That's
like,
true.
well,
Here's the thing about wood. If you cut something too short or something, you're screwed. Now you got to go get another piece. As
yep,
where if you're working with metal, if you cut it too short, that's okay. You can just weld it back on and try again.
yep. That was exactly what I said,
But
and what Kim said to me too. Because I said, yeah,
let me
I don't understand it. I measured it
let me
and I
show
cut it 4 times, and it's still too short.
you. Right. I want to show you something here. If I can dig it out. This is the last thing I made from wood, and it's actually not wood. Let me get all the junk out of here first. Got to dig down to get it, and I'll take it back outside where we got a little bit better light. What this is a board game that I made. Let's see if we can try to get the camera on this. I made about 20 of them. I set all my machinery up like manufacturing. You
Yep,
know,
I
I
got you.
had all
Yep.
my drill press out, my table saw, my rip saw,
Yep.
my router. Let's see if we can get it around where you can see it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's hard for me
Okay,
to see
yeah.
in the camera. But let me see if I can. But this is actually made from leftover bamboo flooring.
Oh, no
This was some
kidding.
scrap pieces that I had of some bamboo flooring that I laid in. And it's a little board game.
Yeah.
And you can see you got the numbers 1 through
Yep.
10 here.
Yep.
And what you do is you just take your dice. See if I can hold that camera right. And you roll your dice, and whatever you get, like there, I got a 7. Now I can
Yep.
turn any one of these tiles that equals 7. In this case,
Equal
I'll
up to
just turn
7.
the 7. You see? And the
I got
objective here is you keep rolling. There's a 12. So I pick like 10 and 2.
10 and 2.
You see?
Yep.
And you keep going until you try to get all these tiles turned over. If you end up with a few left because you can't make a number, then
Right.
that becomes your score.
Okay.
And the objective here is to have the lowest score possible.
I got
You
you.
see?
I got you.
And you can just you keep track of it with a piece of paper and pencil.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
learned that I seen that game many years ago. I think I was only about 20. No, I couldn't even been 20 years old. I was probably 18. And I was dating this girl, and I went to her house to meet her parents. And well, she had invited me over for dinner. Her parents wanted me to come and have dinner. You know, they wanted to meet me.
Yep.
And it didn't take long before, because apparently the girl had already told her dad that I was working in this wood shop, you know. So we got on that subject, and he took me down into his basement, showed me he had a whole wood shop set up down in his basement,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was making these board games, you
Oh,
know.
no
He
kidding.
was making them himself. And I told him, I said, man, I'm never going to forget that. That is just so cool. And it's a fun game to play. And it's, I mean, little kids can play, you know, 3 and 4 years old. If they can
Oh,
count
yeah.
to 10, you know, they can play this game, you know. And it's just as much fun for adults, too. It's a
Oh, my
good
God.
family
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And you don't have to download anything. It don't
Yep.
need battery, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good board game.
You know what's going through my mind, Philip?
Uh,
You know, I like camper.
uh,
Camper. I don't have a whole lot of electricity or electronics for the camper.
uh-huh.
That would be a nice little game around the
Yeah.
fire pit at night. You know,
And you
that would be
talk
awesome.
about making it out of scrap wood.
Yeah.
You can do that. You know, you can make
Yeah.
it out of anything you got laying around. It's only about, the side rails are only about an inch and a half high.
Yep.
You see, about an inch and a half high here. And the box, in fact, the first one that I made it a perfect 12-inch square box. But the problem with that, with mass producing them, is that 12 inches doesn't work. You end up with a lot of scrap material that's now
Yeah.
not large enough. So I did my math and I figured it out that if you make it, like for instance, the back panel, the board, the covered piece, this piece right here,
Yep.
if you made it 12 inches by 12 inches, well, that doesn't work out when you're machining down a 4x8 sheet of plywood.
Right. Right.
You see, because you got to take into consideration the kerf of your blade.
Yep.
So that back panel, if you set up your saw blade so that you're actually taking like 11 7/8 instead of 12 inches, you're allowing for the kerf of that blade. In other words, set up with your mark on the other side of the blade, you see.
Right. Yep.
And so that the curved side is coming off of the material you want to use. And then that works out, because now you can get a perfect 32 sheets out of a 1 4x8 sheet of plywood.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, and then everything works in correspondence with that. Like for instance, let me show you the bottom panel.
Okay.
You see how I took a router
Yep.
and I routed that edge so it's only about 3/4 of an inch thick,
Yep.
and I routed it so I've got a 1/2 inch ledge, only
Yep.
about a 1/4 inch showing, and that also makes the outer rails just under 11 inches too, or it makes it exactly perfect 12. And because
Yep.
these are long linear lengths, that worked out for you, So, and yeah, I made up about 20 of them or so, and I've still got some of the material left over to make more. But you can make it out of anything. Like I said, this was made out of leftover bamboo flooring that I laid down in one of the rooms in the house.
Yeah, that is
But
awesome,
you can
man.
make it out of pallet wood
Yep.
or something, and they're fun games. And then there's
Yeah.
nothing more than a dowel rod, and you use a little, you got a dowel rod. What I did was I set up my drill press so that I could drill the hole through these tiles. You see, these
Right.
tiles are just,
Right.
and I had a router that rounded over the edge,
Yep.
Router table. That's about all I used. I just used a chop saw, my table saw to rip down the panels, and those are just vinyl numbers that you stick on. I don't know if you can see that. They're just little vinyl numbers.
Yeah.
And it's a 1/4 inch dowel rod, and you drill a hole through them with your drill press.
Yep.
That's how you make it.
That is awesome, man. And that I hate to say it, Philip, I'm probably going to steal that from you and make one for the camper.
Well,
I am.
You can't steal it because it's already in the public domain. This board game is an old game, and that's why I can get away with making them without having to worry about Hasbro or Parker Brothers or somebody coming and suing me.
Yeah,
it's public domain. It's like making a chessboard or a checkerboard. Yep. You can make your own checkerboard, and you don't have to worry about Parker Brothers coming and suing you.
Yep. Hey, speaking along stupid shit like that with these big corporations trying to, sue the little guy over patent.
I got another story to tell you when you finish this one.
All right. Well, have you ever heard, the drink Sierra Mist?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. Well, if you notice, that's not around anymore. They don't sell Sierra Mist. They changed the name to what the hell is? I had a fridge full of it here just a minute ago. A Starry. They changed the name to Starry. That's because there was a YouTube influencer, and her name was Sierra Mist, but it was spelled with the C. Now, she didn't cause any problems or anything, but Sierra Mist tried to sue her for using their name, and she's like, well, no, this is actually my birth name. It's me. It's my birth name, and it's spelled with the C. Well, as they're going through litigation, they didn't pay attention to the fact that their copyright for Sierra Mist had expired. She had a good lawyer. Her lawyer snapped up the copyright. Now she owns the name Sierra Mist with either with an S or a C, doesn't matter. That's why this big company had to change their name. Now, if they just, why the hell would you do that to somebody that's on YouTube and not even, trying to say it had nothing to do with their product? It just happened to have the same name spelled differently. Good for her.
Here's my story. I make my own Tabasco sauce. Okay. And I grew the peppers in my garden. I can them up in a special way. And there's a mash process that has to happen. Everything that I do is very much like the name brand McIlhenny's Tabasco sauce.
Okay.
And I was going to start marketing my stuff. And I could do it under the what do they call that? It's kind of like home cannery kind of stuff. What do they call that? The terminology will come to me. But anyway, here's where I'm going with this. That if you haven't noticed, whenever you go to a store, you see all these hot sauces on the shelf.
Yep.
none of them say Tabasco sauce. Now they can use Tabasco peppers in the making of it. They can't call themselves Tabasco sauce. That's because McIlhenny owns that. Now, how that's
Right.
even possible, I don't know. Other than to say that they go way back to the 1800s,
Yeah.
with their copyright patents and
Right.
that kind of stuff. But the point is that you can't use the word Tabasco on your label. You can call it hot sauce. You can't
Yep.
call it Tabasco sauce. You know.
I gotcha.
And my stuff is way better than theirs too.
Yeah. Believe it or
And
not,
I make both a red and a green too. So
I gotcha. I make my own hot sauce as well. And here's the thing: I don't use any Tabasco or Tabasco peppers or anything. So legally, I mean, it would be false advertising if I was to say it was Tabasco sauce. It's not. It's a hot sauce. But I also make my own hot wings, and they're called afterburners, because you can sit there and you can have 4 or 5 of them. And I've had people do this, no matter how hot I've made them. They'll sit there and go, "That's not really that hot," until after they've had the 4th or 5th one, and then they get that burn. The problem is that burn doesn't stop. It just keeps
comes
going.
back on you.
And it keeps going, so they call it afterburners. But here's the biggest thing, and I take it as a compliment. With all the seasonings and everything I put in the breading itself, as well as the sauce, they complement each other. And I also usually marinate the meat, the chicken, the raw chicken itself, for at least 36 hours. So it's not like you're just biting the outside skin and the sauce, and that's where all the flavor is.
Right.
It's all infused in meat too, and that's the problem. It's all infused in, but they are so good. I've had people; they'll sit there, nose running, sweating, sitting there dying, going, "Oh my God, it's so good though! I can't stop eating it." Because it's not just the heat; it's the flavor too. And I have toned them down, even to the best of my ability. If I tone them down too much, it loses something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but it all depends on the peppers I use. Because
you're talking about that. I use my same method to make some habanero sauce from habanero peppers, right?
Yeah, that's about the top of mine. I haven't used the ghost peppers yet, but I've used habanero.
And that habanero sauce that I made one jar of it, a mason jar full of it. And it was good, but it was super duper hot. It was even too hot for me, and I liked stuff hot.
Yeah.
So, but now I got this neighbor down the street, and he's got a brother-in-law, and I know the guy. He shows up all the time, and he's liking my hot sauce. So what I do is I gave my neighbor Mike this habanero sauce. I told him, I says, "This stuff's even too hot for me. Give it to your brother-in-law." And he's like, "Okay." And then a couple of days later, he was telling me the story that his brother-in-law was over at the house and they was having dinner, and he told him, "Here's some more hot sauce from Phil." And he says his brother-in-law put a bunch of it on whatever they were eating. And he said he started rocking back in a chair. He's sweating. His face is turning all red, and he's gasping for a breath of air. And then at the end of it all, he says, "Man, that's good hot sauce."
Yep. Now, years ago, I was the same way. I could do that. I could do. As I've gotten older, though, I can't. My stomach can't handle it anymore. It's so good. I don't even mind the burn and everything. It's just that I feel so miserable afterwards. Bloated, the stomach cramps, and I'm not even going to talk about in the morning. Because I want to reach for an ice cream cone instead of the toilet paper in the morning. It just burns all the way through.
Ever since, oh gosh, even before the pandemic, things were going pretty rough for me around here. My wife and I,
Yeah.
and she was having health issues, and I was letting that stress me out, and I actually developed an ulcer out of all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Besides, I would eat stuff that would make a billy goat puke,
Yep.
and that don't help. And it's to the point now that where I've got to stay away from all that stuff if I want this ulcer to heal, because I
Yeah.
stress and worrying brings on a lot of that too, a lot of indigestion too. So,
Oh, yeah.
and not to mention I'm just not as young as I used to be, but yeah, I can have my own hot sauce so long as it's in moderation.
Right.
But,
Right. That's it exactly. But
but
that was one of the things too, as I said, I was stationed out in California and everything, and I had a couple of good friends that were literally from Mexico. And so you think, all right, Mexico, back in the 80s and everything, you're like, oh, that's hot food. We used to Taco Bell and, you know, Texas Pete hot sauce and shit like that.
yeah,
But no, you actually have authentic Mexican food. Now, some of it is spicy, but it's
yeah,
the flavors. It's more of the
yeah,
flavor. And I
yeah.
learned that it's nice to have a good bite. All right. It's even
I
nice to have
remember
nice heat, but the flavor
yeah,
is what you're looking for.
yeah.
That's what keeps you
One,
your nose running, your eyes watering, and the sweat pouring off of you. It's not the heat, it's the damn flavor that the stuff has.
yeah. Well, a couple of things there. One, I remember the first time I had pico de gallo, and I made the mistake of calling it salsa, and I was quickly
Mm,
corrected.
mm,
They said, "No, this isn't salsa. This is pico de
yep,
gallo." And I'm like, "Okay, well, whatever." But it was just so good and so fresh because one, it was made with fresh vegetables.
right.
It's hand chopped. It's not machine processed.
Yep,
You know, uh, uh, and the person that was making it takes a great deal of pride in how it's made. And I
yep.
had to make it a point to learn how this guy makes it, and
Oh,
I make
yeah.
it the same way now. And it's just fantastic. It's delicious.
Yes,
It
sir.
does consist of jalapeno peppers in it, and the hotness just depends on the pepper. Jalapeno peppers aren't always hot. It depends
Yeah,
upon what time of the year they were harvested, where they were grown, the conditions, and everything else. That's what determines the hotness of a pepper. You know,
yep.
and I've
Um,
made pico de gallo so much that, and sometimes it's pretty hot, sometimes it's kind of mild. And I get my peppers from the same place, but it's just about the peppers, how they were grown and everything. So,
one of my sergeants, when I was stationed out in California, his wife had a hot pepper garden, and she would grow her jalapenos, and she'd grow her habanero. And
yeah.
the jalapenos, I had no problem. We'd pick them out to eat them. And she's like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "No, they're really not that hot, comparatively
Hold
speaking."
on.
And it, like you said, when it was harvested and everything, when you picked them. But she said, "All right." She said, "All right, big man." She said, "Try this habanero." I bit into it. It was juicy as heck, and immediately, yeah, I felt the burn. But as soon as I bit into it, a buddy of mine was standing in front of me, and next thing I hear is he's screaming. He's on the floor. Then he's up and he's just bouncing off the walls and everything. When I bit into it, it squirted him right in the eyeball. And
Oh
he's,
man.
oh my God,
Yep.
he's running. We literally had to take him to the hospital, and you could see his whole eye, his whole face had just swollen up. But I had no
Yeah.
idea why he was screaming at the time. I had no clue, and
Well,
I
that,
felt so
that's
bad.
just one of the hazards. That's just one of the hazards. If you like hot food, it's gonna happen.
Yep.
You know, you're either gonna get the juice from a jalapeno or something in your eye. It's gonna happen.
Oh
If
yeah.
you like hot sauce, it's gonna happen. You're gonna forget that it was on your fingers and rub your eye or something.
Oh yeah.
It just comes with the territory. You just got to accept it.
Yeah. My poor
So
wife. My poor wife. She does not like anything hot at all. No
yeah,
no spicy food at all. And I mean, I've had a few things, and I'm like, yeah, there's absolutely no heat to it. She'll sit there and she's like, "Oh my God, you're lying to me," because she'll be sitting there and go, "No, no, it's got a spice to it." Now, when I make my own hot sauce and everything, she can't even walk into the kitchen. All right, because of the fumes and everything. But
Yeah.
and I've gotten her. Oh my God, over 20 some odd years, you would think she would learn. But I've gotten her so many times on this. I'll be making the hot sauce and everything. I'll rub some on my lips, and she won't come in the kitchen or anything. But she'll stand in the next room or anything and everything. And if she's going out or doing something, all right, give me a kiss. I'm leaving. All right, honey.
Yeah.
Smooch her.
Yeah. You get her with that one, don't you?
Oh my God, yeah, every friggin' time. Every,
There's
again, you'd think after 20 some odd years she'd figure it out, but no. And every time I got the bruises to prove it too, because she'll beat the
yeah.
hell out of me.
Well, maybe you're just gonna have to take that responsibility on yourself, and
Oh
instead
yeah.
of setting her up for fail, try to be considerate of her and say, "Oh no, you don't want to kiss me."
Oh no, I
I was never big on
can't do
onions.
that.
I
No,
didn't care for
it's
onions
funny.
that much, and
Ooh, yeah.
and my wife liked onions, and uh, and I would do all the cooking, and where if she wanted onions on something, or wanted me to cook onions, well, I didn't have a problem with doing that. Hold on a second. If she wanted onions on something, I
Oh,
got to
I see.
turn
Yeah,
it
you
down.
got something in the background. Yep.
Yeah. Um, like I said, if I was cooking and I made something of hers with onion, like for instance, if she wanted a hamburger, she wants grilled onions on it or whatever, and I make her onion rings, I make a blossom onion. I don't care for
Yep.
that much. And as I go to hand her like a hamburger with onions on it, I'd say I'm going to get my kiss now because I don't want to kiss you the rest of the night, with them onions.
Me and my wife were the exact opposite of that. I love onions. Now, she doesn't really mind onions too much, but it's not one of the things that she really likes. And especially with my home fried potatoes. I had made
Uh-huh.
them for years without onions in them because she didn't care for it. Now, the funny thing is, she doesn't mind having onion powder on it. So you get the onion
Right.
flavor. And so I'm sitting
Mm-hmm.
there and I'm like, no, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to cut these things paper thin and so that they disappear when I'm cooking, which they do, but you get all the flavor. Excuse me for a second. This is Doogie and I'm waiting
All
on
right.
him. I got to get
All
this.
right. That's fine.
That's all right. Hey, Doogie, you're live streaming and you're on speakerphone right now. What's up, buddy?
Oh, ain't that wonderful?
Yeah,
I'm going to be famous.
yeah, you are.
Hey, I'll just go and see where you're at.
I'm at home. I'm on the back porch. I'm talking to Philip. We're having a live stream here, and we're talking about everything. And
Yep.
I'm just
Just
waiting
sitting on a
on you.
porch.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on you, buddy. The door's all set, so whenever you get over here.
I've been at G's house for a while.
Oh my God, you're having a live stream. Hello, everyone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is my friend G.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sidewinder Said. It's so awesome. If you're not subscribed, do it now.
Yeah.
Make sure to click the like button too.
Yeah, oh, thank you guys. Yeah, no, Doogie, I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna come over here first.
No,
So
I thought you were over here, so I showed up over here.
okay, so I guess you
I've been
guys
here
are.
about an hour.
Okay, so I guess you're waiting on me.
Yeah, I even messaged you a few times.
Yeah, well, I ignored you.
Where you at and bring beer.
Oh, well. All right. Well, give me a few minutes, and Philip, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm gonna have to go. I got.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, Doogie, yeah, I'll be
We
over.
don't get a lot out of Mark, so when we can get something out of him, we need to have him, focused.
All right, buddy. I'll be over in a few minutes.
All right, I'll be here.
All right.
All right, later. Love you, brother.
Love you, man. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry, Philip. I got to get my ass in gear. I thought he was coming over
Yeah.
here and then would go
Uh-huh.
over to G's. So I screwed up. Anyway.
But that's okay. That's okay. I should go do something like go bake a cake.
There you go, my friend.
Seems
There
I'm
you
getting
go.
rained out. So
I
all
got
right,
you.
well we'll let you go.
All right, my
And
friend.
we'll just get you another time. I'll be
Yeah.
looking for you.
Awesome, man. It was good talking to you. Thank you so much.
It's my
All right,
pleasure.
buddy. You take care,
Bye
man.
now.
We'll see ya.